This episode of Stand and Speak has been brought to you by Sinrock Boat and RV Storage at 622 Kentner Parkway in Sunbury, Ohio. Sinrock Boat and RV Storage offers 12 heated indoor bays with individual keypad entry, 70 outdoor storage spaces, 24/7 surveillance, fenced-in property with keypad entry, concrete flooring, great indoor-outdoor lighting, and backup gas power generation. We offer 6 to 12-month leases and offer a month free with a 1-year lease. Please visit us at sinrockboatandrvstorage.com. That's CINROC boatandrvstorage.com. Everyone, this is Lad Dilgard with Stand and Speak, brought to you by BW Strategy Pack. Tonight we're going to talk about why Republicans are always the ones expected to give in and to meet in the middle, whereas Democrats always seem to go as far left as they can and not have to worry about meeting in the middle ever. The other night I was at a fundraiser, and I spoke to a very nice guy, a wealthy, successful Republican donor who said, in his words, that 99% of the things in politics he believes in are conservative. So he largely supports the Republican Party. But he went on to say, why can't we all just get along in Washington? Why can't we meet in the middle? Why can't we negotiate policies and pass laws where there's a little bit of give and take? And as a student of history, I started to explain to him, and he was very receptive to what I was explaining. This is not the 1970s and 1980s anymore. The Democrat Party has gone far left since the Obama administration, and they are in a take no prisoners attitude when it comes to climate change, when it comes to open borders, tax and spend, and anything else that the Biden administration and before him, the Obama administration had pushed forward. They're not interested in negotiating. Tell me one time when the Democratic Party moved towards the right and the Republican Party just stayed put. I can't think of any policy, anything going on where that was the case. But in 2017, 2018, the Republican Party, led by Paul Ryan in the House of Representatives, they were constantly trying to cater to the Democrats. Like, what can we do to get more votes? But Republicans were in the majority in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, and Donald Trump had just won the election. Now, when that happened with Biden in 2021 and Obama in 2009, they said, we don't need any Republican votes. Obama said, you all can get to the back of the bus, his exact words. So Biden passed $5.9 trillion of inflation-causing stimulus package, labeled an infrastructure bill, and a lot of other garbage that we're still dealing with that today. This was largely done on a party line vote, although there were some Republicans who voted for one of those bills. But they didn't really care whether Republicans supported it or not. They didn't go to the Republican side and say, hey, can we work with you on dialing this down or doing a little bit less of these crazy socialist policies and tax and spending. They just passed it, just like Obama did in 2010 with Obamacare, and before that with the stimulus package. So my thought on this is that Republicans should stop trying to meet Democrats in the middle. They should stop trying to negotiate. They should try to win and then govern how their voters expect them to govern. And their voters, if anything makes them angry, it's the term rhino or Republican in name only, where a Republican will get into office and will vote with the Democrats every now and then, or in some cases just turncoat and become a Democrat. One good example, John Kasich, the governor of Ohio, he started out as a pretty conservative guy, conservative in the budget, when he was in Congress, and he was the House Budget Chairman. But then by the end of his governorship in Ohio, he was supporting expansion of Medicaid to the middle class that cost the state billions of dollars. Republican voters didn't support that, and his party came down hard on him, but he moved to the left. Now, I don't know of too many Democrats who started out on the far left and then moved to the right, but John Kasich was a good example of that. So my take on this is that Republicans, once they get into office, they should act like Republicans, and they should, if Democrats want to come along for the ride and support it, that's great. Who cares? But if Democrats say, you got to move over here, then that's not something that Republican voters support. Now, there are 10 things that I listed out of things that do we really want Republicans to meet Democrats in the middle? Let's take immigration and the border. Now, do we want to let in a few thousand less illegal immigrants? Democrats have clearly opened the border. There's been 8 to 10 million illegals flooded across into the United States in the last 3.5 years. Do we want to do just a little bit less of that as Republicans? How about taxes and spending? Democrats have given us a $35 trillion national debt, stagflation, inflation, and a really stagnant economy if you talk to anyone who's out in the private sector workforce. The Wall Street Journal just said that the 175,000 jobs supposedly created in the last month were actually over 50% government and healthcare jobs that it's just stimulus. There's no private sector growth going on whatsoever. So should Republicans do just a little bit less of that? Maybe instead of $5.9 trillion in spending, maybe 4.4 or 3.3. But there's no meeting in the middle when one party is trying to ruin the economy. Let's take crime and punishment. Democrats have been pretty adamant about letting criminals back out on the street with cashless bail and other crazy policies that's resulted in higher crime. How about kids being forced to attend drag shows that Democrats are in favor of, or boys competing in girls' sports? All Democrats seem to be in favor of that. Republicans want to let just some biological males ruin girls' sports, or just not do it as often. There's no negotiating on this. How about abortion access right up to the moment of birth? Democrats are for 9-month access to abortion. They say it, they confirm it. Do we really want to say, let's meet in the middle, 7 months, 5 months, something like that? I don't think so. How about support for Hamas, the murderers from Gaza? Should we say that Israel is partially responsible for the murder of 1,200 of their citizens by Hamas? Climate change. Here's a good one. This has had some Republicans fall flat on their face lately. I remember Newt Gingrich doing a commercial with Nancy Pelosi about 10 or 12, 15 years ago saying, we all agree that climate change is man-made and it's a big problem. Bull crap. And I don't know how a smart guy like Gingrich could be hoodwinked like that, but I think that ended his political career. If the Democrats want to control government and remove your gas-powered vehicles, shut down fossil fuel plants, drive the price of energy, drive the price of cars through the roof, take away your gas-powered stove and hot water heater, screw that. I don't see any meeting in the middle with the Green New Deal climate change policies, which is nothing but Marxism wrapped in a different cloth. How about COVID? How about the public health bureaucracy Nazis that wanted to and did shut down schools, force vaccines on people who didn't need them, put masks on little kids, little 4-year-olds, to stop the spread. Everything the public health bureaucrats said to do has turned out to be wrong and harmful. Do we really want to meet in the middle? Well, Republicans like Mike DeWine and some others, they did and have and continue to try to sweep it under the rug that, hey, we kind of bought into this, leftist public health bureaucratic Nazi nonsense. I don't see where there is room to negotiate on things like COVID policy or climate change. Here's a good one. How about student loan forgiveness? So how about ignoring the Supreme Court, which said, hey, Joe Biden, you cannot forgive student loans. That's got to go through Congress and the appropriations process. They did it anyway. He did it anyway. They continue to, it's not forgiving student loans. Let's be frank. It's transferring the debt from people who went to college and studied feminist theory at Oberlin over to taxpayers who paid their own way through school, who took out their own student loans and paid them off, or saved, so their kids could go to school, transferring the debt from one class of people to another. Do we want to meet in the middle? Say, hey, forgive, some of these, but not all of them, or forgive them for these people and not those? No, there's no meeting in the middle with student loan forgiveness. And the last thing, this isn't as sexy, but it's probably one of the most important, is business regulations and taxes which choke the economy, suppress our incomes and wealth generation, suppress innovation, and just make life miserable for everybody. Under the Trump administration, those regulations were sliced back. They were reduced as much as they could. Under Obama and Biden, regulations are everywhere and multiplying, and businesses feel it and have to deal with it. Is there a little room in the middle for, crippling regulations and higher business and corporate taxes? I don't think so. I think those should be dialed back to the minimum required to keep the public safe, and not creating jobs for bureaucrats to go around and hassle businesses. So that's my take on Republicans meeting in the middle. Stop trying to do it. Stop trying to make the public like you, or the media say, oh, they're pretty good Republicans. They're trying to work with the Democrats. The media doesn't care. Democrats don't care. It will not get you any votes. It might lose you some votes. Just ask, John Kasich, Newt Gingrich, John Boehner, and some others. So just stop, trying to be something that no one will give you credit for being. Just do the job that your voters elected you to do. So that's all for today on this sunny Sunday afternoon for Stand and Speak. So as you're watching this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button so you can get these regularly to your email inbox. And if you're a bitter commie and you want to show that you really hate the facts and you support the mainstream media, hit that little thumbs down button on YouTube, so we know you're watching. We might red pill you someday, but who knows? But I'm glad you're watching. If you're a commie, I pray for you. I think there's hope for you. Facts will go a long way if you keep absorbing them. So if you're a commie, hit that little thumbs down button so we know you're there. And whether you're a commie or a normal person, hit subscribe so they can keep coming to your inbox. So thanks, everybody, and have a great week.